let's say you have a coefficient for x squared. So you have a number in front of x squared and you want to complete the square. How do you do that? What you do is you factorize that coefficient of x squared out, but only for the x's, if that makes sense. So you take the 3 out, you use a square bracket, but you only factorize for the x squared term and the x term. Meaning, inside my square bracket, I'm going to have x squared minus 4x. I'm going to close that square bracket and then I'm going to stick my minus 1 or whatever number outside of that square bracket. Okay, so I've taken my coefficient of x squared out and I've factorized for my x squared term and my x term only. Okay, now what I do is I apply my completing the square, but only to this square bracket. Now, if you want, you can do it completely separate. So let's do it completely separate. X squared minus 4x. Can you complete the square for that, please? Pause the video, give it a shot. So what you should have done is made your b equal to minus 4 and your c equals to 0. So x plus minus 4 over 2 all squared minus 4 over 2 all squared. So we get x minus 2 all squared and then minus 4. Because minus 4 over 2 is minus 2, we square that to give us positive 4, and then we times that bracket out. Okay, so we can now rewrite this as 3 square bracket x minus 2 all squared minus 4 square bracket minus 1. So I've only completed the square with my square bracket. Now I can multiply that 3 with everything inside my square bracket. So I can multiply that 3 with x minus 2 all squared, which would give me 3 bracket x minus 2 all squared. And then 3 times minus 4 is minus 12. And then I've got my minus 1. So I multiplied this way and I multiplied that way. Okay, now we can just simplify. 3 bracket x minus 2 all squared minus 13. There we go, done. That is how you complete the square when you have a number in front of x squared. So let's go through that one more time because I know it's a little confusing. We factorize out the coefficient of x squared, but only with the x terms. Then, whatever is inside our square bracket, we apply our completing the square formula to that. And we substitute that back in. Then, we multiplied our square brackets out with whatever number we took out from the beginning, and then we simplified. Okay, hopefully that made sense. If it didn't, feel free to watch that explanation over as many times as you want. And what I've done is I've put up 2 questions. I want you, for question 1, just to complete the square. Just put it in the format that we have here, like this. But for question 2, I want you to not only complete the square, but then go on to solve. You want 2 values for x. So pause the video, give it a shot. Okay, the first one. What number are we going to factorize out of our square bracket? 2. And as a result, what do we have inside our square bracket? X squared plus 6x. Close our square bracket, and then we've got plus 2 because we factorized that 2 out. Now we apply our completing the square with whatever is inside our square bracket only. So 2 square bracket, x plus 6 over 2 all squared minus 6 over 2 all squared, close our square bracket, plus 2. You could have done that separately, that's fine as well. But whenever you're going through a question like this and you're looking through, let's say, a textbook mark scheme or a exam mark scheme, it's going to look something like this, where they do it inside the square bracket. So 2 bracket x plus 3 all squared minus 3 all squared, close our square bracket, plus 2. And my 3 squared is 9. So minus 9 plus 2. Now we can factorize out our 2 in front of our square bracket, and we get something like this. And now we simplify. X plus 3 all squared minus 16. There we go. That's our final answer. Okay. Let's have a look at the second one. In this one, you want to solve. So after you've done your completing the square, you want to rearrange everything to make x the subject. Okay. In this case, yes, you can factorize out the 4 and do something like this. Or you can divide everything by 4. Like this. This way is the easier way. This is something that you want to keep in mind when you're doing maths. If you can take the shortcut, take the shortcut. If you can divide everything by 4, go for it. So, let me do it both ways. If you did it this way, when you complete the square, you would get x plus minus 2 over 2 all squared minus 2 over 2 all squared minus 12 equals 0. 4 x minus 1 all squared minus 1 minus 12 equals 0. Expand it out like this. Minus 12 equals 0. 4 bracket x minus 1 all squared minus 16 equals 0. Then we want to rearrange to make x the subject. So we can do this where we move the 16. And now we can divide the 16 by 4, which we know is just 4. Like this. And then we square root. But remember, when we square root, we get 2 solutions, plus and minus. And then we take the 1 over, so it becomes positive 1. So we've got 2 solutions, x equals 1 plus root 4, and x equals 1 minus root 4. Now, remember I said that there were 2 ways. You could have done it this way, which as you can see is kind of long, or you could have divided everything by 4 and then completed the square. Can you try it this way, please? Your answer should be exactly the same. Wouldn't make a difference. So whether you do it the first way or whether you do it the second way, cool, doesn't really matter. You would get marks for both. But if you notice, when you do it the second way, your working out is shorter. You've taken that shortcut, which will always end up being easier for you. It takes practice to figure it out. Like, you're kind of thinking, well, how would I know to do that? If you've done enough questions and you've come across this scenario, something clicks and then you're able to see it. But yeah, that is completing the square.